So let's talk about something huge for any e-commerce store out there. How do you build real, actual authority that lasts? Especially when it feels like everyone's just looking for that quick shortcut. We're going to break down how you can stop chasing those risky tactics and start building a genuine asset that grows in value year after year. And really, this is the first question you got to ask yourself about your own strategy. Are you building something you truly own, an asset that's going to appreciate? Or are you just renting your rankings? Basically paying month to month and just hoping the landlord doesn't wake up one day and change all the rules on you.
This really breaks it down, right? On one side, you have the bot links. It's a simple transaction, sure, but it's super risky. And that value, it actually goes down over time. But on the other side, you've got earned authority. Now, this is the long game. It's sustainable, it builds real trust with your customers, and here's the magic word, it compounds.
All right, so first things first, let's just bust this big myth that so many stores fall for, this idea that you can somehow find a shortcut to real authority.
Here's the deal. The game has totally changed. Search engines are now incredibly smart. They've gotten so good at spotting and even penalizing the exact kind of unnatural link patterns that scream, "I bought these." So what used to be seen as a clever shortcut is now a massive gamble with your entire business.
Okay, so if the old way is broken and risky, then what does real sustainable authority even look like? And what makes it so much more valuable anyway?
You know, authority, it's not just some marketing buzzword. It's the accumulated proof that you genuinely know your stuff. And search engines see this proof through real signals, like other credible sites referencing you, people actually sticking around and engaging with your content, and just how deeply you cover a whole topic.
And this right here, this is maybe the most powerful idea in this whole thing. Real authority compounds. Just think about that. You create one amazing, super comprehensive guide this year, and it could keep earning you valuable natural links for years to come, all on its own. Its power just grows and grows.
And believe me, it doesn't stop with just the links. That's just the beginning. You get all these other incredible benefits that you could never get from bot links. You get direct referral traffic, yeah, but you also build brand recognition, you earn actual trust. It even makes your paid ads work better and cost less. I mean, who doesn't want that? It's a total win-win cycle. So you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Well, it all starts with a pretty fundamental shift in your mindset. We're going to call it the owned asset framework. This is it. This is the big idea. You need to start thinking of your store not just as a shop, but as a media company that just so happens to sell awesome products. You're in the business of creating valuable assets that live on your website and grow in value over time. All right, so if you're a media company now, what are you actually making? Let's open up the toolkit and look at the kinds of content that earns links instead of buys them. First up, research-backed content. This is a total powerhouse. Seriously, you're already sitting on a goldmine of unique data, your own sales patterns, return rates, customer surveys. Package that up into a unique report. See, when you publish original data that no one else has, journalists and bloggers don't have a choice. They have to cite you as the source. Next, you want to create the definitive buying guide for your products. And honestly, for most stores, this is the perfect place to start because you're already the expert. Don't just make another top 5 list. Go way deeper. Talk about materials, maintenance tips, even resale value. Make a resource so unbelievably good that it becomes the industry standard. Tools and calculators are fantastic because you can't just copy and paste their value. If you sell paint, a paint coverage calculator is incredibly useful. If you sell supplements, a dosage calculator solves a real problem. People have to come to your site to use the tool, which makes it an amazing, linkable asset that provides ongoing utility. And please, please do not sleep on visual assets. Things like charts, diagrams, infographics, they're so shareable. When you create the absolute clearest, most helpful diagram explaining a tough concept, it becomes the default visual that everyone uses. People will share it, they'll embed it in their own articles, and they'll link back to you as the source. Now, it's not just about the stuff you create on your own. It's also about who you work with. Partnering with a known expert in your field, that adds instant credibility. Joining industry organizations, that often leads to high-quality editorial links. And creating helpful resources for schools or universities, well, that can earn you some of the most powerful .edu backlinks you can get. Okay, so you've got the tools.
But tools are kind of useless without a system, right? One-off articles aren't going to cut it. You need a real, scalable process for building this authority over the long haul. And one of the best systems out there for this is called the hub and spoke model. Think of it like this. You create one big central hub page on a broad topic, like a complete guide to road cycling. Then you write lots of smaller, super detailed spoke articles on specific parts of that topic, like frame materials or bike maintenance, and you link them all back to the hub. This structure just screams expertise to search engines. And remember, authority isn't something you achieve once and then just forget about. It's like a garden. You have to tend to it. That means going back to your best content and updating it. Add new stats, reflect changes in the market, maybe even add a little last updated note. It signals to everyone, users and search engines, that your stuff is fresh, relevant, and trustworthy. All right, we've said it a bunch of times. This is a long game. So what's the actual prize at the end? Why go through all this effort? What's the ultimate payoff? The payoff is huge. We're talking about a potential 10 times return on the value of that asset you've built. It's going to feel slow at first, and you might wonder if anything's happening. But then you hit this tipping point, and the value just explodes. It compounds on itself and delivers results you could never dream of with short-term tactics. And let's be super clear here. The goal isn't just to collect backlinks to fill up a spreadsheet. The goal is to build real, tangible business assets. Assets that drive awareness for your brand, build deep trust with your customers, and yes, ultimately drive conversions and sales. This is about your bottom line. So that really just leaves one last question. And this one's for you. Now that you see the difference between just renting your spot and actually owning it, what is the first real asset that your store is going to build?